It's called a hillbilly irrigation.
Okay.
I'm an engineer.
Yeah, good.
And so I figured how can I make the cheapest irrigation possible?
Right.
And I got it down to like 50 cents a piece.
Nice.
Or maybe even less.
Wow.
So this is Napier grass here.
Okay.
It grows in a clump, and you can see right there, that's a clump.
Nice.
Plant started from one cutting. So I put the cuttings in here, and they spread out.
For biomass, but I think you said this is also for livestock, right?
Yeah.
Livestock can eat it? Okay.
It's really good for livestock. It's high protein. It's one of the most productive plants in the world.
Okay.
They
Interesting.
even use it for biofuel.
Biofuel.
To fuel, not to make fuel, but to burn it.
To burn it.
In a power plant.
Okay.
Because
Interesting.
it outproduces timber, anything else.
Wow.
And last summer, I was in this divorce, and I was not on the property. This Napier grass grew 14 feet. It was towering over the bananas.
Really?
It grew to
Jesus.
14 feet.
That's astounding.
And so you can see some of what it looked like.
That's more like a cane. Jeez.
Yes.
Look at that.
So you can imagine that.
Wow.
Up to there. But
Very interesting.
then storms hit.
Right. And they
One
toppled
went
over.
this way, another one went that way. You could not
I bet.
come through here.
Eesh.
So what I did, I came through. I would cut down one side, cut down the other side, and piled it in the middle. So all this stuff was piled in the middle, and this stuff was fresh. I put the fresh stuff there, and I piled this stuff on top of it.
Right.
So I've got a year's worth of mulch there.
I see that.
It's going to go down. It's fluffy right now.
Right.
When it rains, it's going to sink down, but it's probably good for a year. So what I'm going to do, this Napier, you can cut it about every 8 weeks.
Okay.
So every 2 months. I'm going to plant the legume trees in the middle. And then between them, I'm going to plant some support. I'm thinking probably mostly canna. You know what canna lilies look like? They're an ornamental.
Okay.
But they're like a mini banana that will grow about this big.
Interesting.
So it's soft. It grows leaves like a banana.
Okay.
And then you could chop it and drop it.
Okay. Interesting.
I could use it down the middle, but it takes up space. It occupies a mid strata. It maybe get this tall, but that's about it.
So what's your purpose with the legume trees in between your main rows?
It's a windbreak.
Okay.
It's a little bit of shade.
Okay.
It's the root zone effect. Some nitrogen. Also, eventually, it's a chop and drop.
Okay.
Because theoretically, I should every year pollard, which is a high cut, and take everything and put it to the trees.
Okay.
The tree lines, and then it regrows. I should be doing this probably June, July.
Okay. Right when the rains are really here.
Right when the rains come, and it'll come right back again. But I'm putting all that biomass as feed. Like we were in that first plot of mango trees. July, I should be in there chopping every one of those big trees right back to here.
Oh, okay.
And they'll reshoot again.
Sure.
And I'll keep doing it.
Very nice. 2.5 years. It looks healthy. It looks like there's a lot of potential here.
I've gotten a pretty good amount of bananas out of it. Also, I had papaya. In between every tree, I had a papaya plant. There was 60 papayas in here.
Oh, wow.
They were the best papayas I've ever grown.
Interesting.
There's a hybrid red lady papaya.
Okay.
And they were going to make 200 pounds of fruit each. And the hurricane chopped them off at the knees.
That's so sad. Wow.
They were perfect. The best I'd ever grown.
Wow.
And they resprouted, they made some, but never like if there was a single trunk.
Right.
Never like that. So I did finally take them out after 2 years. I took them out. They're all the chop and drop from the papayas is underneath there.
You know, it's funny though you say that because my dad has this theory of actually cutting a papaya tree at a certain age.
Yeah, you can.
And it actually supposed to give you better yield.
I found, here's what I found. They make multiple trunks. You probably could select one, but it's that first year that they do the best. I probably won't even have to plant any papayas this year because there was so much fruit. The coons come.
Oh, okay.
And what happens is the branches tend to grow out this way instead of straight up.
Sure.
And they're not as strong. The coon will climb out there and the whole branch will drop because it's got 20 pounds of fruit on it. And the whole branch will drop off. And the next night, he'll come and he'll drop another one.
Really?
There's so much papaya seeds around here from the coons.
Oh, yeah. You get some volunteers.
They're going to come all over.
Sure. You'll have some volunteers.
In those mangoes where we were in first, you saw papaya trees.
Yeah.
I didn't plant a one.
Oh, okay.
They were all volunteers.
Yeah, nice.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Come over here and see my passion fruit. So that's my friend's beehive.
Yep.
I've got 2 beehives, actually 3. And the pigs came over here.
I see that.
That was when I was gone. I have gates.
Okay.
Nobody was closing the gate.
Oh, shame.
But now I'm closing the gate. This is my pig fence. And I put passion fruit all the way around this plot. And they made some fruit. They made some fruit a month or so ago.
Oh, I see plenty.
Yeah.
Good chunky ones.
Plus, they're growing up on the sea grape.
Yeah.
I just decided I was gonna prune the sea grape back, but it's acting like a trellis, so I decided to just leave it.
I love the taste of sea grape. I don't know about you.
The taste?
Yeah.
I'm not so great on it.
No? I do.
Now a guy.
I grew up on it.
Yeah. I did eat them. I've made jelly from it before.
Yeah.
But a guy told me he's actually used the sea grape. He will grow it and then stump it.
Okay.
It'll make shoots straight up like this.
Yep.
He'll bring it up to here.
Yep.
Cut it, and it'll shoot again.
Okay.
But as it gets thicker, it'll make like 20 going straight up.
Yeah.
He'll use it as a chop and drop.
Okay.
And the cool thing about it is, he said that the leaves, when you do that, the leaves get bigger and bigger.
Yep.
And I don't know if he was fibbing to me.
Yeah.
But he said he's had leaves that were that broad.
Wow.
From those new shoots. And believe it or not, he's selling these for people that are having weddings as a plate.
Oh, interesting.
And it's like something really, a tropical theme wedding or something. He's selling these big deals as a plate. It's kind of a neat idea.
You know, there's a few things else you can do with sea grape. You can make them into a wine.
Okay, I'm sure.
And not just that, the wood is interesting enough. When it dries, super hard.
Yes.
In Puerto Rico, we actually make boats out of them.
I know the ribs.
Yeah. And the ribs, and then it's a pretty red color.
Yes,
and
it is.
What I like is archery.
Oh, okay.
A nice branch like that. Cut it, dry
Natural
it,
bow.
and make a bow out of it.
Okay. Yeah. Plus, it's
I sure have a lot.
This guy said it's a perfect chop and drop for beachfront property.
Okay.
Where a lot of things
There's not a lot of stuff that grow there, sure.
But it'll grow on pure
on sand.
Salty sand.
Yeah. And that looks like a eucalyptus, no?
No, that's the invasive ear acacia.
Oh, okay. That's what I seen the video where you burned a bunch of that, right? Or chopped a bunch of it down.
This whole plot was
that was
covered with it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. On my video, it was all acacia.
Interesting.
So this is the sunflower,
Yeah.
and hold that.
Okay, sure.
And so this is not managed properly.
Okay.
It needs to be managed before it gets to this stage.
Sure.
I left it this way because it's a little shade.
I don't blame you.
I
It gets
hung up
warm
on
around
it
here.
when I get hot.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the part that is ideal for planting will be down here.
Okay.
Okay, I'll split that one. I just wanted you to see.
Okay.
These are roots.
Ah, I see.
So a piece that's about this diameter
Uh-huh.
with the roots, I use a lopper
Yeah.
to cut it. And then about this long, about 12 inches or so. Well, that's split. About that big.
Uh-huh.
And you just, in the rainy season, with that root, you just take it, just like yucca,
It's like a yucca.
and stick it and walk away. in
So
the
one
rainy
one
season.
plant will give you that whole clump then.
Yeah, that was one cutting.
Okay, nice.
And this is, if you cut this part here, I'm gonna say this much. I can chop and drop it like that, and it'll be okay.
Okay.
But this part,
Mm-hmm.
you got to be careful with that,
Okay.
because if you cover it, it'll grow.
Oh, grow. Got it.
So
okay.
for chop and drop, if you have hard stuff like this, which like I say is this is not the way to manage it.
Okay.
If you have hard stuff like this, you put it on top, so
Got
the
it.
sun bakes it
Right.
and
Right.
it gets woody.
Sure.
There's one interesting thing. See what's inside of that?
Yeah, it's almost like a foam core, no?
It is.
Okay.
It's like styrofoam.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of like a banana.
well, it's actually, I took some of this and set it out. I have a little chipper
Okay.
that goes on my tractor.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried chipping it. It's too wet.
Mm-hmm.
So it clogs it all up
Sure.
and jams it. So I set it out in the on the ground to dry. After it got dry, I chipped it. And you know what came out? Styrofoam peanuts.
Little peanuts. No shit.
You could actually, with the right engineering and the right equipment, you could chip that, blow those, they're light.
Right.
You could blow those peanuts into a hopper,
Right.
and you could sell that biodegradable, eco-friendly packaging peanuts.
I think you're onto something.
So whoever
Whoever invented needs to give a little credit to Jay.
ends up doing that, you could be a millionaire. out of
Yeah,
that deal.
interesting. Sure, sure.
It would take a little bit because it's very productive.
Yeah.
Now the only problem with this, managing it this way, a lot of people love it because the flowers are
Right.
pretty.
Yeah.
They actually have a little smell, and they're very pretty.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Somewhat bees like it,
Okay.
not a whole lot because there's beehives right there. They prefer other things, I
Okay.
think. But this is not the way to manage it. People love the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
They'll grow it like this. And usually it flowers in the wintertime. It doesn't do much flowering in the summer. But they'll do that, and then they'll say, oh, isn't that pretty? Then we'll get a storm, and it'll get taller and taller and heavier, and a branch will go down like that.
Okay.
And then it'll root,
Uh-huh.
and it'll grow a new one here.
Oh, okay.
And after about a year or two,
Takes over, huh?
they realize this thing is growing, and instead of one pretty one, I've got a dozen, and I've got to go in there and chop it all down. Now
That's a healthy clump there.
we found out that you can defeat it by wearing it out,
Okay.
and what you do is you chop it all down to a stump, let it grow back green,
Okay.
and when it's fresh green, you could just do like this.
Right.
It'll be down there. You can just take it all off with your hands when it gets about this high. You just keep doing that.
Eventually it'll tire
and it
out.
wears it out.
Yeah.
It dies.
Okay.
Eventually, it wears it out so much that you can go to it and you can just kick it over.
Right. Okay.
And so you can get rid of it. Now, I had a lot of this. I had it in a double row. I had Napier here. I had the Tithonia here. Tree, Tithonia, and then Napier again. It was too tight. And after the hurricane, I lost a lot of them. This was a full row, double row. I lost most of them after the hurricane. So they're not very hurricane resistant. They're kind of a weak thing. Whatever happened on the hurricane, either it was,
I mean, the hurricane was 160 to 180 miles an hour, so.
I think I had recently chopped it,
Uh-huh.
and so it got that second pruning before it had a chance to recover.
Right. Okay.
Plus, we had so much rain saturation.
Right.
Plus, it had salt spray.
Uh-huh.
We didn't have salt water here. I'm at 9 feet,
Right.
but there was salt spray for sure, because everything rusted afterwards. But I did lose a lot of them. For some reason, a couple of rows survived. I don't know why. A couple of rows did. So take a look at the Napier over here. This is more like the right height to cut it.
Okay.
Maybe I could go a little higher.
Wow. That's gorgeous. You said this is what, 2 or 3 months of growth?
This is no more than 2.
Oh, wow.
No more than 2. And that's in the dry season.
Man, that's how you really get some biomass quick.
You can go every 6 weeks in the rainy season.
Oh, wow.
Now, this could be a real boon for you, but you have to get a piece of equipment.
Uh-huh.
It's called a crop chopper.
Okay.
And let's go down here. So the crop chopper is something they use in animal feeding.
Mm-hmm.
And what they'll do is it goes on a tractor and it goes down the line and it chops and sucks it in and spits it out of a tube.
Okay.
What you could do in the way your orchard is set up, you could have a line of this down the side of your trees
Mm-hmm.
and chop and spit it out
Oh, onto the trees.
all in one pass.
Nice. Absolutely.
You have to get the right equipment to do that. Surprisingly, it's available and available used and pretty cheap,
Okay.
because a lot of these small dairy operations, it was mainly dairy.
Mm-hmm.
They feed dairy cows.
Mm-hmm.
What they'll do is they'll grow corn,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
Cattle
not
corn.
regular corn.
Yeah, it's cattle corn.
And they'll chop it up
Mm-hmm.
before sometimes they'll chop it with the cobs. Sometimes they'll just chop it up as green,
Right.
and then they'll feed that to the cows.
Mm-hmm.
Because dairy cows, they're pampered,
They're very pampered.
and
Yes, sir.
and they'll feed them while they eat. While they get milk, they'll feed them that chopped up stuff. But
Now, since this grows so vigorous, like, does this need? I know you don't fertilize, but how does it grow so vigorous and not just strip the soil?
that's a good point. You need to feed it back to itself once in a while.
Okay.
Like about every 4th cut,
Mm-hmm.
leave it.
Okay.
And it does 2 things. It mulches itself
Sure.
and keeps out everything else. Plus, not much grows under it. It's so vigorous. It shades everything else out.
Yeah.
Now, I did plant
It's
this.
not an ugly grass too. I mean, it's pretty. It's got a nice purple stalk to it.
There's actually I can't show it to you because I chopped it down.
Okay.
But I have a green variety
Okay.
that's pure green, and it's a little more dwarf.
Ah.
Now this does, if you let it in the winter, let it get a little bit taller,
Mm-hmm.
it puts out a beautiful purple spike. It's
Oh, yeah?
actually a very ornamental
Oh
thing.
wow. Okay.
Now, as far as I've been able to tell, this is not this is not fertile. It doesn't make fertile seed.
Okay.
So I've never had it spread by seed.
Right. By roots.
It can spread by pieces though.
Okay.
And so if you were going to use that crop chopper, you would need to cut it fairly small.
Okay.
If you cut it when it has those canes, it's
No
gonna,
way.
every piece is going to grow. You're going to have you're going to have a mess.
That's like sugarcane then.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you kind of need to cut it a little bit lower than what I cut it.
Okay.
Now, there's one other way around that. You could cut it, put it in a trailer. That hop, instead of spitting it out,
Right. Bring it to a trailer.
put it in a trailer. That's normally how they do it.
Sure.
To take it to the animals. And if you had all that, if it had cane and it got away from you for some reason, say you had a hurricane and it got too tall and you couldn't get in there because it was wet, make compost.
Yeah, for sure.
And it heats up. It's going to heat up and kill everything, and you're going to have another product.
Yeah.
You could even do it on purpose and make
Right. Take
compost.
a compost. Yeah. Interesting. That's really cool stuff.
So I'm going to give you some to experiment with and
Sure.
learn and try. At least you can get a foundation of it. What I gave you is young plants because they're easy to carry, and I don't happen to have any hard cane right now.
Right. Okay.
But the hard cane is what you really want to plant,
Okay.
just like sugar cane,
Right.
or just a stick,
Yeah, stick.
just like sugar cane. Some people plant it in a trench, a long piece. I planted short pieces stuck
Okay.
in.
Right.
I just took a shovel, opened a hole, stuck it in.
Okay. Yeah, I plant my sugarcane on the side, in a trench myself.
Okay.
That's just my
You could do it either way, and same with yucca.
Yeah.
You could plant it flat, you can plant it straight, you can plant it angled. I think any way it would grow. So what I got planned, that last row I did was I put in sapodilla, níspero. So there's a dozen I put in yesterday. And in between every one, where you see the stake is a yautia. Then the rest of them are avocado. I'm going to do 34 avocado trees there.
Nice. Yeah, avocados are great.
Now, have you ever seen one of these?
A shovel?
This style.
Yes, sir.
Okay, they call it a drain spade. Use them for trenching. This is your banana tool.
Ah, okay.
This is the best thing you can do.
Sharpen it up. Right?
Sharpen it up
Cut
really
that
good.
corn.
It fits right up. You can fit right in between.
Sure.
It goes deep.
Yeah.
And if you do it right in, but take off that pup. I slip it in. I'm not going to do that one, but I'm going to do it here. And I just
Cut it out.
rock it. Put my foot on and rock it. And you'll feel when you get through to separate that out, then you just go, and you'll hear it go pop. And that pup is off of there. Then you go around to this side of the pup, around to that side of the pup, around to that side of the pup. Then the little trick is you get it like that. And you grab that thing and you do like this. And you're using this plus your hand.
Right, it's leverage.
And it pulls it right out.
Nice.
I struggle with bananas until I figured out
Yeah.
the right way to
of
do it.
doing it.
And this one, it's the best.
That's
for
your
bananas.
secret weapon, huh?
Yeah. This is the banana tool. A regular shovel doesn't go deep
No,
enough,
for sure.
and it's on the wrong angle. But that's the tool I use for banana. And you're bigger than me, but I know you probably know more about machete than I do, but I like the smaller ones.
I love the smaller ones too. I have one, maybe just a hair bigger than that, but yes, nothing too long.
Yeah, I see guys with a 30-inch machete, and they're just
Trying to show off, huh?
they're getting blisters and they're wasting their time,
Yeah.
wearing themselves out. And get a file.
Yep.
File with the machete.
Absolutely. My daddy taught me that one.
ever split banana trunks?
No.
This is, I'll come down, I'll show you down here a better one. So, guys in Brazil, they figured out how to deal with banana trunks.
Yeah, split in half.
Yeah. So you cut it in chunks. You take your machete, put it right in the middle, and you work it down. When he gets about halfway, you hold it here, and you put your foot on the other side. It splits it down, even the biggest ones. But the cool thing about this is it exposes all that to the bugs.
For sure.
And it doesn't roll. It's gonna sit there, and it's gonna be mulch that'll last for 6 months.
Oh, nice.
So they really figured it out. The other thing about bananas is this.
Oh yeah.
They came up with this method. Have you ever seen that?
I have. Yep.
Where you hollow it out?
Hollow it out. Yep.
And that I wanted to kill it because I had too many. I wanted to kill that one. So just hollow that thing out, fills with water, it rots, and it doesn't come back. I had too many here.
Yeah.
I probably should have only kept.
Now are these all Orinoco's?
Yeah. I probably should have only kept one, but look, these both got fruit. They're coming down.
Yeah.
Before the end of the summer, they're going to be gone, and that's one left over to be the mama. So I had to thin these out because I hadn't been managing them.
You sure got a bunch of flowers and fruit everywhere.
Yeah, I saved the ones that were fruiting, and the ones that I could tell were getting close.
Right. And these fruit after about 12 months old or so?
Yeah, it depends on the year.
Okay.
You know, some years it may go faster. It depends also what size. Now, what I got you is mostly good size. They probably were this size down.
Right.
Probably nothing smaller than that.
Okay.
And I never transplant banana with tops. I just get the stumps.
Yep.
And the guys in Brazil, they have a real good point. They don't plant them standing up anymore. They plant them sideways.
Interesting.
What they found was planting them sideways, it comes up, and it tends to be a more stable plant than sticking up.
Okay.
Because the roots are further down. They're straight down instead of out.
Right.
The root, it'll root on the bottom if you lay it on the side, and they go straight down. The other thing is, you'll get some pups that'll come off the top. Most of the pups are coming off the bottom.
Oh, and then they have to struggle to come back up, which makes them stronger.
They're even stronger again.
Interesting.
But also, you don't get that. Remember, I told you how they rise up.
They rise up.
You're gaining an extra year probably or more before it starts rising up. So they've come up with some pretty good ideas, and I kind of think it works. Now, none of these were planted that way because I didn't know about it.
Right.
But from now on, I'm going to plant them sideways.
Okay.
The other thing is, you don't have to dig as deep of a hole.
Okay.
You know, I always was trying to plant them deep so they're stable. They're laying sideways. You plant them 6 inches under, and they push through. So that's a couple of things I'm changing what I used to do. Am I keeping you too long?
No, this is fun.
It's good for me too.
Yeah.
I kind of need a break. I've been pushing it too hard. So from here to that fence down there is 1.5 acres.
Okay. Nice.
And this is my Garden of Eden, Noah's Ark.
Yeah,
it's a combination of both.
Okay.
So this is what the sunshine mimosa can do.
Wow, very thick.
I didn't plant it here.
Oh no?
I planted it over there.
Ah, okay.
It ran here, and look where it's going.
Yep, I see it.
It's heading that way. So this was actually a mowed grass road, and it found its way through the grass, and it looks like it's dominated the grass this year.
You got some little Everglades tomatoes there too.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I've got more than I could ever eat, and you'll get them too.
Yeah.
If you want, you could pick some and try to grow them.
Yeah.
They tend to grow best in the wintertime.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have them. This is a cool plant. This is an edible
Edible
cactus.
cactus. Yep.
Have you had it before?
Oh yeah, we've had them in tacos and yeah.
Now this one is thornless.
Yep.
So it's really good for that. This came with the property.
Nice.
But if you needed a piece, you're welcome.
You know, I may take you up on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get you one. Now, the older pads, they will have thorns.
Okay.
So I've got something to cut with out here.
Okay.
The older ones, they'll have a little bit of that little hair kind of a thorn. I'll carry it.
Sure.
Because I'll carry it like this.
Okay.
This one may not have any, but it'll grow. And you can get 3 out of that.
Sure.
Plant them about half. They're
Halfway
about
up.
half deep.
Okay.
And you don't have to pot these.
Right.
Just anywhere in the ground.